The Bermuda Triangle has been called the deadliest stretch of ocean on Earth. But NOAA found no evidence that ships and planes vanish here at unusual rates. Lloyd's of London doesn't even charge higher premiums to cross it. So if the real statistics behind the legend don't support the myth, what turned 500,000 square miles of busy ocean into the world's most famous mystery? On official charts, the Bermuda Triangle does not exist. The U.S. Board on Geographic Names registers no such boundary, and international maritime authorities do not recognize it as a formal geographic zone. Instead, the popular label sits on top of a vast stretch of the Atlantic, loosely bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. This undefined expanse happens to align with some of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes and commercial flight paths on Earth. Every day, cargo vessels, cruise ships, and passenger planes crowd these corridors. With such dense traffic, accidents, mechanical failures, and encounters with severe weather are statistically inevitable. The sheer volume of operations ensures that when emergencies occur, they produce a highly visible trail of search and rescue missions, public reports, and salvage efforts. What is mapped as a mystery is, in reality, a high-traffic highway. The shift from maritime reality to global myth began in print. In 1950, journalist E.V.W. Jones compiled a list of local ship losses, retaining reports of severe weather. By 1964, writer Vincent Gaddis assembled these scattered accounts in Argosy magazine, coining the term Bermuda Triangle. The legend grew in 1974 when Charles Berlitz published his bestseller, reframing ordinary shipwrecks as paranormal events. Berlitz stripped away records of storms and technical failures, replacing them with tales of spinning compasses and vanished crews. This speculative narrative spread rapidly through television and books, establishing a global folklore long before anyone verified the claims. In 1975, researcher Larry Couchet cross-referenced these stories with actual Coast Guard logs and shipping records. Couchet found that many alleged mysteries occurred during major hurricanes, and some ships never existed at all. The sensational storytelling had simply outpaced the documented facts. The search for a physical anomaly leads directly to official records. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration maintains a clear position on the matter. No evidence exists to show that mysterious disappearances occur more frequently here than in any other large, well-traveled ocean corridor. To evaluate these waters, statisticians separate raw incident counts from exposure-adjusted rates. A high number of accidents is expected in any maritime passage that handles thousands of container ships, cruise liners, and commercial flights daily. The real measure of risk is the likelihood of an accident per transit rather than the raw total of lost vessels. When adjusted for traffic density, the loss rate in this region matches global averages. No universally accepted database exists to document an abnormal disappearance rate within these coordinates. Instead, maritime insurance underwriters, including Lloyd's of London, charge standard premiums for voyages transiting the area. The actual data describes a busy shipping lane, not a statistical mystery. The ocean behaves as a highly effective system for dispersing physical evidence. In this specific Atlantic corridor, sudden weather changes frequently catch mariners and pilots unprepared. Extreme hurricanes and fast-building tropical storms can quickly overwhelm even large ships and modern aircraft. On a smaller scale, localized thunderstorms and rapid waterspouts develop within minutes, instantly altering visibility and sea conditions. Underneath these volatile skies runs the Gulf Stream, a powerful current moving up to 4 miles per hour. This massive flow acts as an ocean conveyor belt, sweeping floating debris and wreckage dozens of miles away from an impact site before search and rescue teams can even arrive. Closer to land, shallow coral reefs and complex coastal waters present extreme hazards to shipping that can easily tear open hulls. When vessels disappear without a trace, the lack of immediate physical evidence often invites supernatural speculation. Yet, the historical record of marine accidents regularly identifies mundane culprits. Equipment failure, fuel miscalculations, structural degradation, and pilot disorientation in overcast conditions are frequent factors in maritime disasters. In an unforgiving marine environment, a minor mechanical issue can quickly escalate when combined with a sudden storm or a strong current. The ocean hides the physical wreckage, but the underlying causes remain entirely terrestrial. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers departed Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale for a routine navigation exercise. Led by Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, the training mission, known as Flight 19, carried 14 aircrew into the Atlantic. Within hours, the routine flight turned critical. Flight logs and radio transmissions record a sequence of navigational confusion as Taylor reported both of his compasses had failed. As darkness fell, the weather deteriorated, bringing heavy rain, high winds, and low visibility. Disoriented and low on fuel, the crews were forced to attempt a hazardous water landing in pitch-black, turbulent seas. A rescue effort was launched immediately, but tragedy multiplied when a Martin PBM Mariner search plane, carrying 13 crew members, suffered a mid-air explosion shortly after takeoff. No wreckage from the 5 Avengers or the rescue plane was ever recovered, while the lack of physical evidence later fueled decades of supernatural speculation. The documented record reveals a chain of environmental hazards, mechanical failure, and human disorientation under extreme stress. In March 1918, the Navy collier USS Cyclops disappeared while sailing from Brazil to Baltimore with over 10,000 tons of manganese ore and 306 people on board. The massive ship sent no distress signal and left no wreckage, remaining one of the military's most enduring open cases. Yet, an unsolved maritime mystery is not the same as a paranormal event. Official investigations identified several severe risks, including an overloaded single-hull design, a cracked engine cylinder, and a sudden storm along the route. Over the decades, popular authors inflated the mystery by systematically altering historical records. Retellings routinely omitted reports of bad weather, shifted the locations of actual accidents to fit within the triangle, and even claimed ships had vanished when they had returned to port safely. In an environment as destructive as the Atlantic Ocean, physical evidence often vanishes completely. The loss of physical evidence leaves an information gap, which writers subsequently filled with speculation instead of documented facts. In the cold calculations of maritime commerce, risk is a numbers game. Marine underwriters and global insurers, including Lloyd's of London, do not calculate premiums based on mythology. To these institutions, the region is not a paranormal hazard, but a standard transit zone. Actuaries evaluate voyages using hard, documented loss patterns, historical accident data, and total vessel traffic. Because the statistical risk of transit matches global baselines, insurers charge no additional premiums for voyages crossing these waters. Maritime authorities assign no special danger status, and heavy commercial traffic continues without interruption. In the multi-billion-dollar shipping industry, sensational concepts like magnetic portals or alien abductions hold no financial weight. Operationally, the mystery simply does not exist. The Atlantic Ocean covers over 30 million square miles. In these vast, deep waters, locating a sunken vessel or downed aircraft is exceptionally difficult, often leaving investigators with no physical wreckage to analyze. This absence of tangible evidence creates an information vacuum. Where facts are missing, human imagination quickly steps in to fill the void. Sensational books, speculative documentaries, and dramatic headlines keep the most mysterious interpretations in circulation, easily outlasting the quiet, methodical corrections of scientists and statisticians. Ultimately, the endurance of the Bermuda Triangle legend reveals a fundamental human tendency: the urge to convert unresolved maritime tragedies into supernatural myths. But in the cold light of science, a lack of answers is never proof of the paranormal. Today, GPS and satellite tracking leave nowhere for ships to truly vanish. Yet the legend persists because we prefer an alluring mystery to sober statistics. The ocean's dangers are real, but the only anomaly is our insistence on seeing monsters where there is only data. Share your thoughts below.